a bridge built on vision, teamwork, and determination. Washington was the only person who supported his father's plan from the beginning. He was determined to live out his father's dream and make the bridge a reality. However, the construction process was full of challenges, including the toughest one, building the bridge's foundation. To create a strong base, workers used huge chambers called caissons. These caissons were filled with air and lowered to the riverbed. Workers would enter these caissons and dig deep into the mud and sand to build the foundation. Inside the chambers, workers faced extreme air pressure. If they returned to the river surface too quickly, they could suffer from decompression sickness. This painful condition caused joint pain, paralysis, and even death. Many workers thus fell ill, and some did not survive. Washington himself spent many hours inside the caissons to supervise the work. Sadly, he also suffered from decompression sickness in 1872. His illness left him weak and partially paralyzed. His condition did not allow him to be on site anymore. Without their chief engineer, many people considered it impossible to complete the bridge. The project seemed hopeless, as no one else had the technical knowledge Washington possessed to guide the workers.
Welcome back, everyone, to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
So, Elsie, in our last recording, we were talking about the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is huge, amazing, and it connects Manhattan and Brooklyn together. And it was once the longest suspension bridge in the world.
You're right, and it was designed by John A. Roebling, and after his tragic death, his son, Washington Roebling, had to take over and face even more challenges.
And today, everyone, we're going to find out more about those challenges that his son faced. So let's dive into the Brooklyn Bridge. It starts off by saying Washington was the only person who supported his father's plan from the beginning.
这边呢，我们看到课文首先告诉我们，华盛顿是唯一一个从一开始就支持父亲计划的人。
It says he was determined to live out his father's dream and make the bridge a reality. There, everyone, we see the adjective determined, which is having a strong desire to do something even when it is difficult or challenging. So an example sentence we could say using determined would be, despite the bad weather, she was determined to complete the hike and reach the top of the mountain. We also, in that last sentence, see the phrase live out something, which is to make something real or to experience something that was planned, hoped for, or dreamed about. An example using that phrase, we could say, he always wanted to travel the world, and now he is finally living out his dream.
好，我们首先看到的形容词 determined 指的就是坚决的或是下定决心的。好，我们可以怎么使用它呢？我们可以用 be 动词带出 determined， 然后接上 to 以及原形动词，指的是坚决或是下定决心做某件事情。那名词决心是 determination。好，我们接下来还会看到它出现。那再来呢 live out something 是实现点点点，可能是个梦想，可能是个想法。所以当我们说 live out one's dream， 那就是实现某人的梦想。课文中说到他决心实现父亲的梦想，并将这座桥梁变为现实。
Well, it seems like Washington was a pretty good son. He, believed in his father's plan from the beginning, and he was even determined to finish his father's dream.
Right. I wonder if he was the only son or not.
That's a good question. Well, getting back to our article, everyone, it says, however, the construction process was full of challenges, including the toughest one, building the bridge's foundation. And there we see the phrase be verb full of something, which is to contain or have a lot of something. So an example sentence, we could say, the box was full of old photos and letters from her childhood.
Be full of something 那就是充满点点点，形容词 full full 指的就是满的。那另外呢 foundation 指的是地基，所以在建造的过程当中是充满了挑战，其中最艰难的挑战就是建设桥梁的 foundation 它的地基基础。
Right. When building any kind of building or any houses or anything like that, you need a really strong foundation, or you could say a strong base even to make it more simple. To create a strong base, workers used huge chambers called caissons. There, everyone, we see the noun chamber, which is a room used for a particular purpose that is mentioned.For example, scientists, or we could say the scientist worked in a special chamber designed to keep the air pressure stable.
Chamber 这个名词指的是特定用途的房间或是室。那 caisson 这个名词呢是水中工程用的沉箱，所以说为了创建坚固的基础，工人们就要使用被称为沉箱的大型容器。So it's a kind of big container.
Exactly. Now, these caissons were filled with air and lowered to the riverbed. Now we see, everyone, the phrase be verb and then filled with something, which means to have a large amount of something inside or occupying it. An example sentence we could use would be, her bag was filled with books and notebooks for her classes.Be
filled with something 它也是充满的意思哦，像刚刚我们介绍到的 be full of something 也是充满。所以呢课文说到这些沉箱被充满空气之后放入到河床当中， They were lowered to the riverbed.
Exactly. And then what would happen next? Well, our article says workers would enter these caissons and dig deep into the mud and sand to build the foundation.
工人们就进入这些沉箱，然后深入泥沙当中挖掘以建立基础。
Ooh, that sounds a little bit scary. Would you like to be lowered down and then be standing in one of these caissons?
I wouldn't want to be.
Right, exactly. It would be very frightening or scary. And our article then, everyone shares, inside the chambers, workers faced extreme air pressure.
在沉箱当中呢，工人们就会面对到极端的空气压力。
So they had to be really careful, these workers, when they were in these caissons and then coming back up, because as our article tells us, if they returned to the river surface too quickly, they could suffer from decompression sickness. And there we see the verb suffer, which is to experience pain, harm, or something unpleasant.An example sentence we would use would be, he suffered from a bad headache after staying up all night studying.
Suffer 这个动词呢是遭受或是蒙受， suffer from something 那就是遭受蒙受某件事所苦或是某个疾病所苦。那另外我们看到的 decompression sickness 指的是减压症，又称作潜水夫病，所以如果他们回到水面太快的话，那可能就会患上减压病。
Okay, now getting back to our article, since these workers are going down and they can't be lifted out of the caissons too quickly because either they'll get sick from what we learned was decompression sickness. And what is decompression sickness, right? Now, I don't know what it is, but our article says this painful condition caused joint pain, paralysis, and even death. Oh my gosh. There, everyone, in that last sentence, we see the noun condition, which is a medical problem or state of health. An example sentence using the word condition we could say would be, she was diagnosed with a heart condition that required immediate treatment.
Condition 这个名词有许多解释，在这边呢当作疾病来使用，所以我们像是提到的 a heart condition 那就是心脏疾病。所以说呢这种痛苦的病症它会导致什么样的不舒适不舒服，像是第一个 joint pain 关节疼痛，那第二个就是 paralysis 瘫痪，再来是死亡 death。Oh
my gosh, I don't want to go in the caissons. All right, well, Our article continues by saying, many workers thus fell ill and some did not survive.
许多工人呢因此生病，甚至有些人是没有办法生还的。
Wow, so even if I said, here's a $1 million to go down into this casing and work, would you do it?
No, it was too dangerous.
Yes, I agree with you. I probably wouldn't do it either. But our article says Washington himself spent many hours inside the casings to supervise the work.
Supervise 这个动词是监督，是指导。So he was actually there.
Yeah, he was actually in the casings doing some of the work. He wasn't just on board giving orders, right?
他也自己在沉箱之内呢待了许多小时，监督工地的工作。
But because probably he was in these casings, our article says, sadly, he also suffered from decompression sickness in 1872.
令人难过的是呢，他在1872年的时候也患上了这个减压病。
His illness left him weak and partially paralyzed.
Partially 这个副词是部分的，好，用来修饰后方的形容词。Paralyzed 也就是瘫痪的或是麻痹的，所以这场病呢让他变得虚弱并部分瘫痪。
And because he was partially paralyzed, our article says, his condition did not allow him to be on site anymore.
他的病情呢使他无法再亲自到工地去了。
Without their chief engineer, many people considered it impossible to complete the bridge.
没有了总工程师，许多人认为呢，这座桥几乎不可能完成。那在这个句子当中，我们看到了今天的文法重点。Let's take a look. 在今天的 Language in Focus 当中，我们来看到的是用来表达某事物使某人点点点，或者是某人发现对某人来说的这个句型。好，我们可以用到主词，后方的动词有几种让你做选择，一个是 make 或是 find, believe, consider 或是 think， 再来呢会接上这个it， 再接上形容词 for somebody to do something。 那常运用于这个受词过长的时候，改变句构的方法呢，就是在这类的动词之后先接上虚受词 it， 再接上说明受词的受词补语，最后再接语义上真正的受词，也就是 to 加上原形动词的部分。 So for example, she believes impossible to finish the task on time. 他认为按时完成这个任务是不可能的。好，再给同学们一次这个例句哦。She believes it impossible to finish the task on time. 那另外一个例句呢，我们可以说像是这样的句子 They considered it important to hire more people to help with the work. 他们认为为了帮忙完成工作，雇用更多的人是重要的。好，所以呢，你会看到分别是在 believes 还有 considered 的后方先出现了虚受词 it， 再接上形容词，一个是 impossible， 一个是 important， 之后再接上 to 以及原形动词。
So without Washington, everyone maybe considered it, like we just read, impossible to finish the bridge. Well, what happened next, I wonder? Our article says the project seemed hopeless as no one else had the technical knowledge Washington possessed to guide the workers. There, everyone, we see the adjective technical, which is relating to a specific skill, knowledge, or subject, often requiring special training or expertise. So an example would be, he has the technical skills to fix the machine when it breaks down.
Technical 这个形容词呢，就是技术性的，所以可以用来形容像是什么样的名词呢？比如说 technical skills 技术技能，Technical problems 技术问题，那出现技术问题的时候，你就需要技术支援，那就是 technical support。 然后呢，我们还看到了这个动词是 possessed。
All right, well, yeah, possess is a verb. It is to have a particular quality or ability. So an example we could use using the word possess would be, she possesses great leadership skills and can manage teams effectively.
Possess 这个动词呢，指的是拥有品质或是能力。所以课文最后就说到了，这个项目呢看似无望，因为没有其他人是具备华盛顿所拥有的专业知识来指导工人，那该怎么办呢？ What were they going to do? We have to find out tomorrow, right?
I know, I'm excited. It seems like a lot of bad luck that's happening on this bridge.
Yeah, 那同学们不想错过更多精彩的 English for You 内容，就赶快订阅我们的 YouTube channel， 还有追踪 Facebook。那现在到我们的 For You Chat question。
All right, everyone. For our For You Chat question, it says, have you ever faced a challenge that seemed impossible? What did you do?
Ooh.
So I'm going to go first this time.
Okay.
So, yeah, I am 100% sure I've faced an impossible challenge. So I would say, yes, I have faced a challenge that seemed impossible. What I did was break it down into smaller tasks and keep going until it was done.
Oh, so you chose to do it step by step.
I chose to do it step by step, just little by little, and do it, prepare for it as well. Not wait till the last minute, take the time to do it little by little, and then it wasn't as impossible as I thought. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I have never faced a challenge that seemed impossible.
Oh, you're Superwoman.
Everything is possible for me. I think if you keep a positive mindset and keep learning, keep working hard, you can handle anything.
That's a great outlook on things, and you can use that on all aspects of life. I think that's really admirable. Well, everyone, what do you guys think? Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed impossible? And if you have, what did you do? But for now, that's all the time we have. My name is Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review. Determined. Jenny is determined to pass this exam, so she is studying very hard. Chamber. The king held meetings with his trusted team in a private chamber of the castle. Suffer. Many teenagers suffer from pressure to succeed in several fields, which can cause stress and even health problems. Condition. After I got the right medicine for my medical condition, I began to feel much better. Technical. Kyle doesn't have enough technical knowledge to fix the computer by himself, so he took it to a store. Possess. David's ability to stay calm in stressful situations is a skill many people wish to possess.
智慧小补帖
Foundation. Casein. Caisson. Decompression sickness. Paralysis. Supervise. Partially.